You know, I thought all the memes and jokes about Reddit moderators were highly exaggerated. But recently, ladies and gentlemen, I have seen someone who not only lived up to all those expectations, but maybe even surpassed it. And I gotta tell you, it is simultaneously both sad and fucking hilarious. Hello there, internet. My name is Jimothy Jamzz, and today I wanted to talk about a recent interview on Fox News with a moderator for a subreddit called r/Antiwork, a subreddit dedicated to unfair labor conditions, which has over 1.7 million members and was at one point one of the fastest growing communities on the site, and has seen quite a bit of success over the years. Until now, of course. Now, I know what you're thinking. Jimothy, what the fuck's going on with the lighting? It's usually so perfect and amazing. I know. It's not ideal today. That's because I'm a dumb fucking idiot, and I decided to record at night. So the lighting is brought to you by some fucking lamp I found. Give it up, hey lampy boy, and some gas torch on this side. So which brings us to this whole fucking lighting situation. So a Reddit mod called Doreen Ford was brought onto Fox News and was interviewed by Jesse Waters. And I thought you and me could take some time and have a good old laugh at this internet journey.
Over 1.6 million subscribers. Joining me now is the person who operates this anti-work group, Doreen Ford.
So first of all, what the fuck kind of place are they living in? You know, I've seen comments where people are saying that she lives in a basement, but I don't know. I think I see a window, and I've never seen a basement with a window, so maybe it's not a basement. I mean, it's definitely a shithole, right? But probably not a basement. The other thing you'll notice is that her room is a fucking mess. Like, I mean, who knows they're going on to mainstream TV? They're on the fucking news, right? And they don't think, gee whiz, maybe I should clean up. Maybe I should make my fucking bed. Jesus. Typical fucking Redditors, man.
All right, so Doreen, why do you like the idea of being home, not working, but still getting paid by corporate America?
Yeah, so there's some misconceptions about the movement. So we're a movement where we want to reduce the amount of work that people feel like they're forced to do, and so we want to still put in effort, we want to put in labor, but we don't want to necessarily be in a position where we feel trapped. You know, you just quoted from Office Space, where that person feels very trapped in their job. I think we're calling for a society where there's less of that. But yeah, absolutely, people still want to do things. They just want to do things where they feel rewarded and they feel like they're in a good spot in their life, and that their job respects them and stuff like that.
So I've seen a lot of people act as if Jesse Waters is fully in the right here, and no doubt Doreen she does not look good throughout this interview, but I think Jesse acts like a typical fucking journalist. By which I mean he's very fucking dishonest with these questions. Like when he asked her, why do you like the idea of not working but and staying at home but still being paid by corporate America? That's that's kind of a loaded question. Because first of all, right, if I could stay at home, right, and still get paid, why the fuck wouldn't I do that? That's fucking dope. Although this kind of journalistic fuckery is not uncommon these days. Especially on a news network like Fox News, because Fox News is just right-wing CNN, and CNN is just left-wing Fox News. They're both shit. They're like Batman and the Joker, except they're both clowns. But in all seriousness, that's not what the movement is about. They're advocating for work reform, right? They're not telling people not to work. They're just advocating for fair hours and enough pay for someone to live reasonably comfortably, which I agree with. Yeah, I think there's too many people out there who are working jobs they hate for absolute dog shit pay, and I think that's not good. And Doreen kind of says this, but she articulates it very, very poorly, in my opinion. And it kind of leads me to believe that she did not spend enough time preparing for this interview. And you'll see more of that throughout this whole debacle.
You know, there's varying.
So Doreen, but you're not being forced to work. This isn't slave labor. You've applied for a job. You've agreed to the terms and conditions of the employment, and you can walk away from that job at any time and quit. So I don't understand really what this is about, except it sounds like maybe people are just being lazy. Are you encouraging people to be lazy?
So I think laziness is a virtue in a society where people constantly want you to be productive 24/7, and it's good to have rest. That doesn't mean you should be resting all the time or not putting effort into things that you care about.
See, this shit right here pisses me off a little bit, right? Because Jesse makes the point of saying, no one is forced to work. You apply for a job and you can leave whenever the fuck you want, right? And that's true in terms of how the job market works. But most people who work like a job that they hate can't afford to just walk away and take a risk like that. Often because they've got families, they have people who depend on them. They can't just be like, yeah, fuck it, I'm not working at this minimum wage job. I'm gonna go fucking do acting or something. They can't, right? Because especially if they've got like kids or something, right? So yes, it's not forced on people like slave labor, which is the comparison he made, but it is forced on people in terms of like by life circumstances. So this community is it's not encouraging people to be lazy, but it is encouraging for better conditions for workers, which I think is fair. But then Doreen says some kind of shit about laziness being a virtue in a society that wants you to be productive all the time, which I don't know, man. I feel like that's a rare miss for Doreen. I feel like that's the dumbest way to answer that question. Like all she had to say, right, really was no one's encouraging laziness. We're just advocating for better working conditions and better compensation for labor provided, right? It doesn't seem that hard to me. But now, this is where the interview gets really fucky.
How many hours is a solid work day in your ideal society?
Sure. I mean, I think as much as people want. I mean, I personally work. I have like a 25 hour work weeks, which I think is fairly good. So I would like less work hours.
And what do you do, Doreen?
I'm a dog walker.
A dog walker. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, what the fuck is this, man? First of all, she's complaining about work this whole time, but then she works 25 hours a week, which is pretty good. Most people work way more than that, right? But then, big plot twist, she's a fucking dog walker. And no disrespect to dog walkers out there, it's a job that needs to be done. But how are you complaining, right? About when this is like a relatively privileged, not even privileged, but this is an easy job, right? It's like you work very little hours a week, and all you have to do is fucking take dogs for a walk. Like, out of fucking Redditors, man. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. And even though he's a journalist, and fuck journalists, right? Fuck him. A little bit of respect for Jesse here, because I can't believe he's keeping his composure really well. I'd be in tears, man. I'd be dying. I'd be laughing my ass off at that moment.
And how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Sure, I'm 30.
You're 30. Okay. And is there something you want to do besides being a dog walker? Do you aspire to do anything more than dog walking, or is that kind of your pinnacle?
I love working with dogs. If I had to do this for the rest of my life, I wouldn't be super complaining. Dogs are wonderful animals. But I would love to teach. I would love to, work with people and stuff like that.
What would you teach, Doreen?
Philosophy mostly. Just introduction to philosophy, critical thinking, reason, stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I would love to take your class, Doreen. I would just be taking notes the whole time, and you know what? A professor's a very similar schedule than something that you're imagining. So I think that actually might work perfectly for you. Listen, I think this might not be the greatest idea, but who am I to judge? To each their own.
Of course she wants to be a philosophy teacher. Of fucking course she wants to be a philosophy teacher. Seriously, fucking philosophy, man. Like, if ever there was a degree that had like zero fucking worth in the working world, it'd be philosophy. Like, what can you do with a philosophy degree? No, for real. No, I'm asking. Tell me. Think about it for a minute. I'll wait. See, I can think of one. Just one thing, right? You can fucking teach people about philosophy, and that's it. Now look, I think philosophy for sure has its place in society. It is important in some way, being able to ponder on the big questions like life, existence, the universe, who are we, why are we here, that kind of shit, right? But in terms of like practical application in the working world, there's not much you can do with it, right? I mean, like, I think, right, if philosophy is to be taught, right, it shouldn't be taught at higher education, at like a tertiary level. It should be taught at a school level. Because I'd argue that it would be much more effective there. Because, I mean, to teach young people, like, when their brain is at a point where they're able to learn much more effectively how to think critically about things, I think that'd be much more beneficial to society than teaching a bunch of fucking 20-year-olds in fucking university or college about philosophy, where they're gonna get a degree which they won't even be able to use. Like, and also you'll notice this is kind of where the dam breaks, and Jesse can't help but fucking have a little chuckle at the expense of our sweet Reddit Janny Doreen. He lost a lot longer than I would have. I'll tell you that much. But anyway, after this whole debacle, the subreddit of r/Antiwork spirals into fucking chaos. People are leaving left, right, and center. People are super mad that Doreen got interviewed. The moderator, I think she got taken off. I don't know, but the moderators got fucking they privated the subreddits. No one could join. No one could view it for a while. Some people like started a whole new subreddit called workreform, which I think is a little bit more marketable, for lack of a better word, than anti-work. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you liked the video, please drop a like. Consider subscribing. Right there. That's where the subscribe button usually is, so it doesn't block out my sexy face. But yeah, leave a comment. This is a very funny situation. Am I right about shit? Do you hate anti-work? Do you love it? Let me know. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions. And as always, I've been Jimothy Jamzz, and fuck off.